Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. This is an exciting day here. It's a Monday. It's raining, but we're not letting it get us down.
No, you guys, today is such an exciting day. Obviously, at the Morning Toast, it's always an exciting day, and we find some reason to get excited.
To feel happy to be alive.
But this morning, the first shipments of a vaccine went out of Michigan. There's a video that was on TikTok that just got me in my feelings, like all these trucks leaving the facility, the Pfizer facility, like shipping out all the vaccines so that the healthcare workers can get them. And it's all these different trucking companies like UPS, FedEx, and then the other trucking companies.
Yeah, the other ones, DHL.
It was just like so heartwarming. It's been such a difficult year, and just like to see that the end is near, like I can't explain the feeling. So the video just got me in my feels, and I'm just feeling grateful and excited and optimistic.
And glory be the God. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get the vaccine till like April.
Right. No, it's all.
So I'm not excited for me.
It's all on the horizon for us. I'm excited for everyone who's been putting their lives on the line this entire time that will be getting a vaccine this week. Like they have times and dates.
No, it's so crazy. And I'm so excited. Just like, I think like now safely we can start just like thinking about life returning to normal.
Plans.
Yeah, and like maybe going to a concert next year. Like at first it was so uncertain because like you really didn't know when the vaccine would be like in people's arms. But now it's like they're going to be in people's arms this week and for the next like 6 to 9 months. And I just think we can now start seeing a world beyond COVID. We're not there yet, but we can now safely, cautiously start thinking about it and envisioning it. And that is fucking exciting.
And that's just the sort of news and optimism we needed to end this year. And that's why 2020 is just going to be different, because hope is in the air.
100%. And we were saying before, like, you know,
2021,
you know, I don't want to get everyone's hopes up because it's, yes, technically a different year, but things could be just as shitty. But now I'm feeling I feel like when the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, like we are going to be a different planet.
Yes, but I also think that yes and no. There's the optimism in the air, but like for a city like New York, like now indoor dining is closed, like restaurants are going out of business, ones that had survived up until this point. So like it is still sad, but we have a vision on the horizon.
Hope is all you need, and I have hope today.
Yeah, no, it's a good day, even though it's like so rainy. And by the way, when it rains in our studio, like it looks like it's 8 p.m., but we're recording at the same time as always, so just know that.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm feeling really annoying today.
Yeah, like nice and sing-songy, but also like not singing any good songs.
Okay, Jackie, your negativity is not gonna get in my
like,
way. My way.
I want you to sing some good-ass songs.
That's what I'm doing, yeah. No, I'm just like, I got a lot of sleep over the weekend, and I didn't really, like, I've been drinking so much, like, every weekend consistently, that Monday morning I'm like, oh, I have Corona. Like, I just don't feel good because I, like, didn't really relax on my weekend.
Yeah.
And I actually just, like, had a really balanced weekend, and I got a lot of sleep, and I spent a lot of time with Theo, and, like, it was just, I'm feeling like I should do this more often.
Yeah, but except that we did, like, heavily drink on Saturday.
Yeah, but see, like...
But it was day drinking, which is the key.
Also, for just, like, you know, a vet like me, that, like, wasn't so crazy, except I did throw up at dinner, but I don't think it had anything to do with the alcohol. I think it was poisoned.
No, but, like, because you drink during the day, like, the Sunday doesn't suffer as much, and it was really nice. I had a nice balanced weekend, too, because I drank, we had a good time, but I also read an amazing book that I started on Friday that I finished yesterday called Luckiest Girl Alive. Dana was telling me about it, and I didn't know anything about it when I read it, and I absolutely loved it.
And Jackie just chatted it up so much on her Instagram when we were out together on Saturday, just like talking about the book, that I was so heavily influenced, I actually purchased the book.
So she's going to read it soon,
on our vacation.
Is so exciting.
Yeah.
And speaking of vacation, this is our last week of shows for the year, and we're going to miss you guys, but we're going to be having a good-ass time.
Yeah, no, I am going to miss you for sure, but I will also definitely be having a good-ass time.
A GAT.
A GAT, but... last week of shows, so enjoy them. I mean, last week I feel like should have been the final week of shows because they were just 5 out of 5 premium ass shows, like 5 stars all around, every episode more funnier than the next, and that would have been a great way to go out.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just have to keep that energy up for this week.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to bring it. It's already been brought in.
That was like such a lame part of Bring It On. Like,
it's not from Bring It On.
Yes, it is.
No, so it's actually, so she says Bring It, obviously. They never respond. It's already been brought in. That's from not
like,
another teen movie.
Yeah, but no, the whole concept of like bring it, like, what is it? you know?
Yeah.
No, it's the energy. Like, I get it, but it's like kind of cringy. Like,
You better bring it.
Oh, we will. It's like you both know what the other's talking about. It's so vague.
No, IT. Everything of the sort.
Everything of the sort, yeah. So it's been now 4 days since we've gotten the Evermore album, and I'm taking my time. I'm not 100% there in terms of like having lived with it, but I did spend a significant amount of my weekend listening to it and studying it and just living with it. And it's such a beautiful album. And honestly, some of the songs have just like really evolved into like totally different pieces of music. I think Willow, which for Taylor, I would say probably in all of her albums, the songs that she releases as her lead singles are almost always my least favorite. Like almost always. I don't know what it is, but so that's why I didn't really have like a ton of hope for Willow. I kind of just like was like, oh, it's like a fine song, but I'll like skip past it. But my God, it's so good. Like it's just so unlike her to put like one of her best songs as her single. So I wasn't expecting it, and I kind of like wrote it off almost. But that's what I get for just judging before I know anything. It's just such a beautiful album, and I'm really happy with it.
Oh, good.
And there's a song on there about Theo, which is really cool.
That was my next question. Like, what's Theo's favorite song? Is it the one about him?
Yeah, that was pretty cool of Taylor to just like acknowledge him, like a nod, you know, artist to artist.
A lot of celebrities have been acknowledging Theo these days. Pete Davidson,
and Ice Cream Chillin', Blackpink.
Oh, yeah.
Do. Yeah, but when Taylor sings, "Hey, Dora, Theo," it warms my heart because it's like she sees his beauty and his grace. And just to clarify, for those who might have been confused on our Instagram page, that was not actually Theo, the Cavalier, in the picture with Pete Davidson outside of SNL, but holy shit, did it look like him.
I just want to say, like, there's no proof that it wasn't Theo.
That's true, because I was out.
You were out. Who knows what he got into?
Ben was out as well, but I just know that he doesn't have that sweater, but maybe he picked it up on the way.
Maybe it's a new sweater.
Maybe. It wasn't him.
I'm not convinced.
I like know what Theo looks like to a T. So like, of course it looked a lot like him, but I knew it wasn't him.
No,
but
same.
to the average viewer who like sees Theo on Instagram or on the show, like it looks like him. So
no, I agree.
I didn't expect so many people to think.
Him
and then
I
dug myself into like this grave where everyone was like, "Is it him? I can't tell." And I was like, I thought we all knew like this was a joke.
I mean, but still, like, it's unclear. It could be him because no one was with him. No one knew what he got into a Saturday night.
Right. Like, remember that movie with Cynthia Nixon, Baby's Day Out, where like the baby goes to the museum and the gym?
Yeah. I think Theo takes himself out. He is a fan of comedy, obviously. His mom, and SNL's the only show in town right now. So he went on down there and he met his friend Pete. I don't think it's so far-fetched.
Me neither.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, look at our Instagram for the picture.
Educate yourselves. Today we have a fabulous show. Of course, the Fast Five. Lots to discuss because we had Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1, which was such unbelievable television. Thank you for entertaining me. Like, it was so good.
Thank you, Monique Samuels.
I did not pick my phone up once. Like, I was just so intrigued. And then we also had Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we have a lot to discuss.
We have a lot to discuss. So I think we should just jump right into the Fast Five stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
Sure. But we can't take a bite out of our morning toast yet. Why? Because I forgot to tell you something. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Well, BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist where you can start communicating in under 48 hours. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling. And it's all done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available to you in many areas, but their service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor, where you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly or video phone sessions, so you won't have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. You can visit their website and read their testimonials of all the people who love BetterHelp. And if you want to visit betterhelp.com/toast, that's betterhelp.com/toast. You can join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So the Morning Toast offer is 10% off for your first month, but you have to use the link betterhelp.com/toast. Again, that link will get you 10% off your first month. It's never been a better time crazy times. The holidays can be hard for people. If you've been wanting to start therapy, you've been nervous about it, or you actually haven't been able to leave your house because of COVID, BetterHelp is the perfect thing. BetterHelp.com/toast for 10% off your first month.
Yes. Okay, first story, some big news of the weekend. I just want to issue a trigger warning beforehand because we're going to talk about an abusive relationship.
Oh, yes, I heard about this.
FKA Twigs is suing Shia LaBeouf over an alleged abusive relationship. She has accused him of sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress, the New York Times has reported.
I didn't even know that they dated.
I know. One incident described in the lawsuit occurred just after Valentine's Day in 2019, and she claims that Shia was driving recklessly, threatening to crash the car if she didn't profess her love for him as a passenger in the car. She claims she begged to be let out of the car, and he pulled over at a gas station, followed her out of the car, and assaulted her, throwing her against the car, according to the lawsuit. So there's a number of incidents that she cites, but also now Sia is coming out and calling Shia LaBeouf a pathological liar. Sia is saying that Shia conned her into an adulterous relationship.
Right.
She's warning women to stay away from the very sick star.
And Shia LaBeouf did respond to the lawsuit from FKA Twigs and was like, yes, this is all true. Like, and I'm very sick.
Wow.
So it's, first of all, I didn't even know that any of these people like were linked. I didn't know Shia LaBeouf dated FKA Twigs. I didn't know Shia LaBeouf had a relationship with Sia. And then I didn't know that FKA Twigs is now dating Matt Healy from the 1975 because he like released a statement supporting her. So I'm just like learning so much. But in regards to this story, I feel like it's super, I just love like Sia and FKA like
coming together
and supporting one another and just like speaking out when it's like so hard.
And I'm sure FKA Twigs, like, you know, speaking out, it's so brave to do, and then to have someone in the industry like come and corroborate you, like, I'm sure means so much.
100%.
So I hope that justice is served, and I'm just really proud of them for speaking up against, like, and he's a major player in the
movies,
industry.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's hard.
I think everyone has known for a long time that he's definitely unwell in a lot of ways, and I think we all just like watch it and he like becomes a meme, but it's like not funny, and this is like proof that it's not.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope there's, you know, I didn't know you could like sue someone.
Yeah. No, I wasn't.
But then I think of like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, but they're like fighting over like divorce.
And libel.
Right. So I just didn't know that you could sue someone like in a relationship.
I didn't really know that either.
But I guess it totally makes sense. Like you can.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Yeah, so we'll see how the suit plays out. But I think a lot of this was to raise awareness. Mm-hmm. And then for Sia, it was like warning other women to stay away from him. And I think that's important for women to know.
Yeah, me too. This is a terrible story. But
terrible.
Hopefully a road to justice
is on its way. Okay, another really sad story. Charley Pride, country music icon legend, has passed away from a COVID...
Charley Pride, country music icon legend, an incredible P-Jam,
the pride of country music,
literally,
has passed away after a COVID-related death, now raising questions about whether or not he might have contracted COVID at the CMA Awards, which were last month, and he was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award there. Right. The CMA Awards have put out a statement saying, quote, everyone affiliated with the CMA Awards followed strict testing protocols outlined by the city health department and unions. Charley was tested prior to traveling to Nashville. He was tested upon landing in Nashville, and again on show day with all tests coming back negative. After returning to Texas following the CMA Awards, Charley again tested negative multiple times. All of us in the country music community are heartbroken by Charley's passing. Out of respect for his family during their grieving period, we'll be not commenting on this further.
Right. So no one has actually confirmed whether or not the CMAs were the place where he got COVID. I think a lot of people, including Maren Morris, who tweeted about it, were just like assuming almost because of the timing.
Yeah, Maren Morris tweeted and deleted, but she said, I don't want to jump to conclusions because no family statement has been made. But if this was a result of the CMAs being indoors, we should all be outraged. Rest in power, Charley.
So I just want to say, if this was a result of the CMAs being indoors and just the CMAs in general, I actually do think that people could have thought twice about inviting in person. I didn't even think about it at the time because it really seemed like so well done. And if that was the case that he had gotten it there, actually, now that I think about it, like the Lifetime Achievement Award like could have been received remotely and like the rest of the thing could have gone on without him. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair to assume that's where he got it, even though the timeline like does.
It could make sense.
It could make sense. I just don't think it's fair to like jump to any conclusions yet. And what's a COVID-related injury?
A COVID-related death would be COVID, like the disease itself like caused harm to other parts of his body, and then maybe it could have been heart failure,
right,
due
from
to
COVID.
COVID initially,
right, or like because he was older, maybe he had some pre-existing. So I don't know, but I just think the way we address it both publicly and just like how we should just be careful, because there's, aside from the timing, there's no proof that he had received it there.
No, just speculation.
But at the same time, I didn't think it at the time, but now that I'm thinking about it, like I do feel like the CMAs were really well done, and that's because most people in CMAs are like young and healthy, that like the one person who was older and receiving his, like maybe could have received it remotely.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that people will continue to try and figure it out, and also if it was a super spreader event, then other people would have in the country music world would have gotten COVID too.
That's true. I feel like maybe we.
So I do feel like there are ways that we'll find out.
Yeah, but I also definitely feel like celebrities in general, like aren't telling people when they get COVID, because like we knew Khloe Kardashian had COVID from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but she had it like a year ago or whenever.
Yeah, in March.
You know what I mean? So I feel like not everyone is forthcoming.
No, I don't know. I feel like every day I'm seeing a story, or it's like so and so is telling us now that they had COVID like 4 months ago. And yeah, I agree. They're definitely being strange about it.
So if it was some type of super spreader event, like we might not know, but those things really don't stay quiet.
No, they don't. No. They don't. Okay, next up, some Taylor Swift news.
Of course.
Like some Taylor Swift speculation that I really want to talk about because I just think it's like so obvious, but I don't know.
Okay.
Taylor Swift might release a surprise third album.
Yes.
Called Woodvale.
Yes.
So the signs of the DeSwiftie code are pointing to a third album because she said the story continues. There's Woodvale written in the artwork for folklore. And they think that these are triplets, not just twins.
You know, it's very possible. There are certain like Taylor Swift theories that like I get really invested in, and sometimes they come to fruition, sometimes they don't. This third album, like, okay, I see the points everyone is making. I hope it's true, but I'm not like, tying up my ship and getting on board. You know what I mean?
I'm sitting around like waiting for it.
Sure, and if that happens, wonderful. But I don't want to be greedy. Like, I'm so grateful for
That's true. Imagine you just put out like a second amazing work of art in 1 year, like record smashing, chart topping, and then everyone's just like, well, where's the third?
Yeah, so I'm so grateful, and I don't want to be greedy. Like, the 2 albums that we have are more than enough for me. And if this is where the folklore era ends, it will have been not just good, but great,
I mean, beyond.
Beyond. So
over and above. It would have been enough Dianu.
So if we get the third album, okay, I will be very appreciative. But I'm not expecting anything. Taylor Swift is very unpredictable, and every time we think we figured it out, we usually don't.
The 3 cardigans, the 3 stars.
No, totally.
I'm just feeling like to me, I always see these theories that the Swifties put out, and I'm like, okay, this is far-fetched. But I saw this one, and I was like, yeah, no, for sure, this is it.
Sometimes that happens, but then it's like enough time goes by where nothing happens that you just forget about it, and like the theory goes unanswered.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the life of a Swiftie. It's like, I don't know. I can't get so excited anymore because so many of my theories are untrue, like, and just never come to life.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought her and Joe were definitely married and maybe even had a baby after Peace came out.
But
give you my wow, give you a
That's
child.
true, but there's nothing to say that they're not married.
That's true, but I also just don't think Taylor Swift will ever legally be married.
That's true. That is.
Financially, I just don't think it makes sense.
That's very true.
Yeah. I can really,
Our next story is some more sad news. This is just an SND, a sad news day.
Yeah.
Lisa Vanderpump is devastated over the death of her beloved dog, Giggy.
And so is the Bravo community, because this is wild.
Theo, cover your ears. The Vanderpump Rules star announced the news on social media Saturday, saying she and her family are devastated. Quote, he was truly loved, and we know many of you loved him too. He inspired us to start our rescue, and we will always be grateful. Giggy's legacy lives on with every dog Vanderpump Rules.
That's
Vanderpump
true.
Dog saves. Rip Giggy, we love you.
You say rip?
I did.
That's weird.
R.I.P.
Do you say rip like?
Not really.
I never. It's like so disrespectful. Like rip. I don't give a rip. Like rest in peace.
I'm sorry. It just said rip. Like
it's okay.
R.I.P.
And if it's like all lowercase, it's just like rip. Rip, rip, rip. I don't give a rip. I'm actually really excited for the Real Housewives of Dallas, but I digress. Back to Giggy. Giggy is like the first lady dog-wise of Bravo.
Yeah.
And there's been so many,
He's the first dog.
The first dog, thank you. First lady dog-wise. Like, I don't know what that meant to say, but yes, first dog.
Yeah.
And this is just like crazy. And I feel like a lot of people, like, we've just been like this is going to sound terrible, but like Giggy's just been so old for so long that I feel like I've just been like waiting for this announcement. And it never came. So I'm like, maybe he like drank from the Tuck Everlasting fountain and he's going to live forever.
Yeah. No, now that like it's here, it's like, wow, he lived such a long life, and he was sick like for a long time.
Yes, he had a lot of complications.
But he lived a very good life, and it's just really sad because he's an icon.
And a meaningful life.
But
you know?
his legacy is so meaningful.
Yeah, and even though like I truly like in my soul despise Lisa Vanderpump, I actually like I think the work that she does with Vanderpump Dogs and just like her love for dogs and the Yulin Dog Festival is so admirable.
I just have something to say. I'm like done despising Lisa Vanderpump.
Wait, that's like so crazy that you said that, because like earlier, and I just don't want to like discredit all the work I've done over the last 10 years like into the gospel anti Lisa Vanderpump, but watching this most recent season without Lisa Vanderpump and then like, seeing Kyle just be like really kind of weird and shady, I was like,
no, it's like
maybe
Heavy,
Kyle's Bobby Fischer.
Maybe Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and
Yeah.
her neck was hurting. No, it's not even about the women. It's like because I've forgotten all the reasons why
Yeah.
I dislike her and all the injustices. I'm like, she's a nice lady.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. Like,
Out of sight, out of mind. I feel fondly.
but I don't even like her on Vanderpump Rules, which is like where we see her more recently.
Yeah, no, but it's been a while since Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Like, just the whole thing.
I think I'm still going to stick to like spreading the gospel of the Lisa Vanderpump hatred.
Okay.
But I do agree. Part of me is like,
I just don't feel
part
as-
of me is like, who cares?
I don't feel as fervent
No,
about
I
it.
completely agree. But I
Yeah.
still, just because I spent so much of my young adulthood like preaching to my friends why like Lisa Vanderpump was like really like the most menacing
Yeah.
pot stirrer, I just don't think I can go back on my word.
I know. And also, you know what
but
I
it does feel
You know
like-
what I think endears us to her now? Her to us?
She's a podcaster.
She's a podcaster. And, like,
Yeah.
we have a warm spot in our heart for fellow podcasters.
That's fair, honestly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, plus she's
Something
having,
to think about.
She's having a tough week.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Okay, our fifth and final story, we just breezed through these because all we want to do is talk about Monique
Potomac.
Binder. It's such an interesting sports celebrity news story.
Okay, also, can I just interject with like one story that I read that I thought was really interesting and I meant to send to you?
Sure.
So the founder of Cameo, that app, went on a podcast and was just talking about like the success of Cameo and how like celebrities are making real money. And he said that this year, the number one earner, I want you to guess, who made over $1 million in his own sales, like after commissions,
Okay, it's a he.
from Cameo. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's a
Because I
he.
would have said a Real Housewife.
It's so shocking.
Spencer Pratt.
Nope.
Is he even on Cameo?
I don't know, but like it's not even in that realm.
Not reality TV.
No.
Someone in the sports world then.
No, I don't know what made me think of it.
Okay, I don't know.
Kevin from The Office, Brian Baumgartner.
I mean, like, I would never even know
But
who
does that
is.
actually make a lot of sense, like when you think about it?
Yeah.
And on the podcast, the founder was like, he takes like so much pride in his cameos. Like he like makes them real works of art, and he doesn't just like, you know, put a 10-second video together. And I thought that was really interesting.
That is really an interesting factoid.
Yeah, Brian Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Made $1 million on Cameo this year.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
Okay, our fifth and final story, a little sports celebrity news. Cody Simpson says he qualified for the Olympic swimming trials. He's going to the Olympics.
On behalf of Australia
On
or
behalf
America?
of Australia.
Damn it.
On Saturday, he said that he had qualified for his first Olympic trials.
Yeah, he's not going to the Olympics.
He's going to
He's
the Olympics.
going to the place.
He's going to the Olympics trials.
Yeah. Olympic trials.
He said, I'd love to share this personal milestone and let you in on my current journey as an athlete that I've kept relatively low key until now. He said he posted this on Instagram. He said, I've had the chance to experience and learn so much as a musician and touring around the world, releasing albums, performing as a leading man on Broadway, publishing a work of poetry. Oh my God, humble brag.
Yeah, it's like, this is a little obnoxious.
Yeah. And now he's qualifying for the Olympics in 2021.
Wow, I mean, I do wish it was for America so that sexy washboard ab could be like an American hero, but I do understand that he's Australian and that's not how these things work. Happy for him. I mean, this does seem like, I don't know if you could just like wake up and decide to be an Olympic swimmer. I think these are things like you do since like you're 9. I don't know, ask Michael Phelps. But I appreciate his passion.
Yeah, he said for years he'd been fueled by the silent fire in my stomach of returning to my first love, the sport of swimming, with the idea that he's also promoting his poetry book. Well, you're
Right, of course, available on Amazon. Speaking of
with the idea that 2020 was
promoting a book, make sure to order my book, girlwithnojob.com/book. Comes out in just 5 weeks. Don't miss out. Pre-order it. Audiobook, ebook, and paper print versions all available on Amazon and other retailers. girlwithnojob.com/book. Sorry. So he's promoting his poetry book.
with the idea that, well, no, inadvertently, just by using poetic language in his Instagram caption, with the idea that 2020 would be the year he'd start trying again. After only 5 months back in the water with his incredible coach, I was able to take out a win and secure a spot at next year's Australian Olympic trials. That's crazy. Some people just like, you know those people who just try something, try their hand, talent, try this, talent.
But it's like not really like that doesn't really happen in the Olympics. Like he's just making it seem like I woke up one day and 5 months later I was going to the Olympics.
No, like I think
if he actually makes it to the Olympics, I will be incredibly impressed.
Yes, no, but like he won the Masked Singer. Like he is a very talented celebrity.
Right, that's true.
And for him to also be a super talented athlete, like Olympics, competing at an Olympic level.
Well, that means that you're the best of the best, and I just don't. I'm not trying to be skeptical.
You don't think he can do it?
I don't think he can do it. I don't think you just wake up and 5 months later you like, okay, maybe if you're lucky you make it to the trial because you just have that like innate talent. But it's like a disgrace to the people who have literally been like swimming since they were 9 just to get to the Olympics, and like this is their year. And then
speed is speed.
And you know what?
He's not doing anything like special or different. Like he's in that same pool with the same clock.
So I'm saying if he really makes it to the best of the best of the Olympic team, I will apologize.
Okay, but I'm saying even if he doesn't, the fact that he, who like is so talented in other realms, even made it to the Olympic trials, like
no,
he's a really good swimmer.
No, he's a good swimmer for sure. He's like a tall man in shape, and yeah.
But, so anyone can just make it to the Olympic trials.
No, but it's not the Olympics. So I'm just saying, like, if we get to the Olympics, I will take back what I said, but I just think this is like one of those things.
Tough to impress.
I've been noticing like celebrities just like keep doing things in other people's, like the
lanes.
Paul brothers like now becoming UFC fighters when it's like no, people who have literally been like waiting their whole life to fight Floyd Mayweather, and now it's like Logan Paul gets to do it when he's been fighting. It's just like celebrities, and by the way, I do it myself as well. Like I'm like categorizing myself as like a celebrity, but like, you know, I just release music because I feel like it, even though I'm not a singer. Like it's just like a thing. It's like celebrities just like keep like doing things and like getting to like the best of different industries just because they're celebrities.
Right, and I agree with you on that point.
But the Olympics is based on talent.
But this is just completely based on talent, has nothing to do with the fact that he's a celebrity.
No. Maybe.
No.
I don't know how it works in Australia, but I'm just saying, if he gets to the Olympic trials, I will take back what I said. But for now, it's just like, Cody Simpson, sit down.
No, but like he's still remarkably skilled, and nothing about being a celebrity like got him that time in that pool.
I don't know. It got him like whatever.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Like,
but I also
him
think
being a celebrity, like he got a fancy coach, like you know what I mean. He put in the work, but like, I don't know. I don't really feel like I can really make a statement yet until I know if he made the team.
Okay, but I just want to say, if this becomes a trend of like celebrities
becoming Olympians,
becoming Olympic athletes, I'm here for it.
Now that breakdancing is an Olympic sport,
mm-hmm.
Well, you know what's interesting about celebrities becoming Olympic athletes is like because
Olympic athletes are also celebrities.
That and basketball is a winter or summer Olympic sport, and like the best of American NBA players usually play for the American Olympic team, and actually sometimes foreign NBA players like play for their home countries, and it's like weird to be playing your teammates. But that's also weird because those are celebrities. Like LeBron James is a celebrity, and him being an Olympian, it's like he's honestly too famous for the Olympics.
No, like it was crazy. I remember when they all went to the last Olympics, and I remember when like Chloe and Lamar were together. I think Lamar went to the Olympics.
I think he did as well.
While they were together, and it is crazy to see your favorite celebrities in the Olympics, and that's what I'm saying.
100%. I'm just saying I'm not convinced. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what? We'll keep you posted. I need to find out when the Australian Olympic swimming trials are.
We'll stream
because
them.
You know what? We'll know if he made it, but we won't know if he didn't.
No, 100%. If you never hear from us again, he didn't make it. In regards to this story.
You know what? But Cody, I just want to let you know, like I'm rooting for you.
No, I'm rooting for America.
No, but like I would love to see Cody Simpson at the Olympics. That will just like give us a level of Olympics coverage, celebrity Olympics coverage that we need.
Can I tell you how much I love the Olympics?
I know, and we were gypped this year.
Yeah, I'm really
sorry, that's not a word I should be using anymore.
No,
I just learned.
By the way, I also just learned that too. It's
offensive to gypsies.
Yes.
So I'm sorry.
I feel like a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't know it until recently.
Me too. What I was gonna say about the Olympics is like I never feel more like redneck, I love America than I do when the Olympics are on. I'm like, you know, like running around with my shirt off, like with like American flag painted on my belly. Like it's the best time of year. Like some people love the holiday season and I do too, but I love especially summer Olympic season.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And we didn't get Olympics this year, which is
Winter's
devastating.
cool too. Justice for the winter.
No, winter is like a really close second, but nothing beats summer and like Michael Phelps in the swimming.
No, in the gymnastics.
But honestly, I really actually enjoy like all those weird skiing sports.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive into our TV recap because the Real Housewives of Potomac just like made my year yesterday. And our Real Housewives of Potomac and Atlanta episodes are brought to you by Stamps.com. This holiday season, more people will be mailing stuff than ever before. That means the post office is going to be busy. You don't have time for that. Stamps.com brings the post office and now UPS shipping right to your computer. Mail and ship anything from the convenience of your home or office. Because with Stamps.com, you can do anything at the post office. You can do anything that you can do at the post office with just a few clicks. They save you money with deep discounts that you can't even get at the post office. They bring the services of the USPS and UPS right to your computer. Simply use any computer to print official US postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple. Plus, like we said, you get amazing discounts with Stamps.com. You get 5 cents off of every first class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail and up to 62% off UPS shipping rates. It's a fraction of the cost of expensive postage meters. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. There's no risk, and with our promo code TOAST, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in TOAST. That's Stamps.com, code TOAST. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
Love
Okay.
it.
Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. The Hope reunion was on last night. The women really looked fabulous. You know, collectively they looked really good. And then when you zoomed in a little bit more, everyone's outfit was like a little fakaked. Like Wendy's dress like kept falling over on like her right like breast like thing was just like falling over. I didn't notice Robin's hair until her zoomed in thing, and it was very confusing. Ashley, love you. The inside of your cape was just absolutely awful. Best dressed is Queen Monique and Queen Karen Huger.
Yes.
And you know, I have to give her credit. Candace did look pretty cute. Candace actually always looks very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think like the looks, I thought again, I feel like if you look at all the Potomac reunions, like it's just not great.
But I feel like this
one... And I
one,
don't like that they all wore the same color. I think that's like such a weird... Like, I like the idea of it, but then in practice, it's like, I don't know, I feel like they could have worn the same hue or like same family of colors. Yeah, it is like, they were like bridesmaids, whereas I feel like sometimes... You know, I feel like in New Jersey, they all wear sparkles, but there's silver, there's gold, there's rose gold, there's a million different things. To all wear like this shade of yellow, I thought was strange.
I actually liked it because, first of all, I think when they took the photos and like they all just looked like this like unit. But then what I really liked is like because they're really all given like the same exact guidelines, we really get to see like who doesn't know how to dress and who knows how to dress.
That's true.
And the fact that we spent almost half the reunion last night like diving in on Giselle's awful style in terms of fashion and awful home decor style led by Karen Huger, like, and the viewers are really vocal about it. Like nothing gives me more joy than like 6 seasons now. Like we've just been like skirting around this issue and now we said it.
And really like Karen was being so funny. And Giselle like really didn't have a defense, and it is so weird. And I think what Wendy said, she's definitely onto something, that Giselle is like too pretty.
She's pretty girl syndrome.
She doesn't like, she's never had to like work that hard in those other areas because like she's so stunning, she could wear whatever she wants.
Yeah, I personally relate to that. I mean, because I've just been like so beautiful my whole life. Like people used to treat me so differently. They still do. I relate to that. Like I really don't have to try because I'm so stunning.
No, but Karen was just so on point with all of her comebacks.
Amazing.
And I thought that obviously the end of the episode, Giselle had nothing to say for herself. But I even thought in the beginning when Karen and Giselle were doing their thing of just like insulting each other and just doing that, I thought Karen was so on point, and Giselle like really had nothing to say, and so she was just like saying the same thing over and over, just like sort of mocking Karen, but like wasn't actually contributing, like didn't have any like insults in her back pocket except for like the Geritol comment, but then like Karen turned it on her.
What
That's
is Geritol?
ageist. I'm assuming it's an old age medication.
This is why Karen Huger is the absolute queen. Because she said that's ageist, and she mispronounced ageist, and so Wendy corrected her, and Wendy was definitely being condescending when she corrected her, but instead of like fighting with Wendy, she said, what was it, Wendy? Ageist? Thank you, honey. Like, it was just so smart. Like, she didn't get sidetracked. She's an amazing fighter. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And last night's episode really, for me, like, showed was like emblematic of how I've been feeling this whole season, where it's like Karen Huger is like the absolute queen, gets no respect, and Giselle like has questions for everybody but answers to nobody.
No, and so we need to just talk about the best
annihilation
moment of the night when Monique came with her binder. And it's always like when someone starts bringing up printed out text messages, like it's
like a joke.
But she came prepared because she had this story of Jamal's girlfriend. And if she had said it with nothing to back it up, people would have been like, oh, Monique, you're being crazy.
And you're just being spiteful.
The look on everyone's faces, everyone knew what she was talking about.
This other female pastor, who is it?
I don't know. Like, it's Jamal's real girlfriend, I guess. And he's dating and we're with Giselle for the show.
Right.
Which is just like such a crazy thing to say, but then it also seems to be very true. Then Monique read out the phone number. Giselle had to confirm that that's his phone number.
That was crazy.
And then that made everything else true.
And at first, all the women were like, Monique, what are you doing? What are you doing? But then Monique was just spitting fact after fact after fact. And everyone shut the fuck up because everyone knows that it's most likely true. And like now you can't even deny what Monique is saying. And Giselle for the first time was just like speechless. And I hate to see a woman taken down and like a person's relationship like put into question, but after all Giselle has done over the years, like questioning everyone's marriage, baby, like she's always stirring the pot and like really putting people in uncomfortable situations. And it's like, you can't have this very confusing relationship no matter what you believe. Like he cheated on her. He has Giselle's dad said he has children with like 6 other women.
6 to 7. 7 is the most recent.
So it's like, you can't help but question it. So it's like, Giselle, when you are sitting on this, like you should really be quiet about other people's things.
Yeah.
Just so nobody comes prying into your business.
No, it's the golden rule. Don't dish it out if you can't take it.
100%. So just to finally see like Giselle be like really just put in her place, it felt so good. And I feel like everyone who's ever been like interrogated by Giselle just like was living, like I know Ashley and Karen, like they were just living for it.
And I can't believe Giselle allowed herself to react like that. Like she had nothing, like she couldn't even retort. She had nothing to say. Like her silence was confirmation.
She always has something to say.
Like she could have just gone back and forth and she just like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Even with Karen, like she just didn't have like the fight in her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I also thought that the way that they're sitting is very strange because usually it's like side versus side. So it would have been like Wendy, Giselle, Robin, and Candace, and then the other 3. But I feel like because they're so far apart, they actually had to put people who are fighting like next to each other, because if Wendy is screaming at Karen, they're literally like 30 feet apart because they're so separate because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I did think it was weird that Robin was sitting there.
I couldn't, when they were zooming in on people, like I couldn't get a sense of like who's next to who.
100%.
But I didn't like mind it so much. But yeah, it definitely, they're like taking some learnings from New York reunion where Andy was all the way there. Like they tried to do the circle. And I think it is going as best as it possibly could.
In regards to the conversation about Wendy's degrees, I did have a lot to say because I kind of like agreed with Wendy because she's like, that's just like so a part of our culture. And like, I hate to blame it on like a cultural difference, but I kind of understood what she was saying. And I know like in certain like cultures, like your education is everything. So you keep bringing it up. So I kind of understood that, but I wish she addressed Ashley's very well said claim that it's like, it's not about you bragging. It's like you use it to put others down.
Yeah.
And like you bring it up when literally no, she's like, I feel like Wendy said, I have to bring it up because I need to defend myself because people are talking about it. But then Ashley's like, wait, when we were at when we were at Monique's lake house, like you just brought it up because like literally nobody said anything. So it's like, I wish she just would have addressed the way that she uses it to put other people down. Because I did appreciate her explaining why she brings it up so much, but that doesn't help me understand the rest of it.
She doesn't see it that way, you know?
Yeah, so but I do.
Yeah. It was an interesting conversation. I'm glad that she talked about it because I feel like that's when I've been like watching and then like looking on Twitter, that's like how everyone feels.
Yeah, and it's funny.
And it's funny, but it does make sense if it is a cultural difference. And also like she should be extremely proud.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Like I would be.
Did you think that Karen Huger really like spoke to Robin and Giselle on the plane home from Portugal and said like, we need Wendy off the show?
I don't think she said it like that. And also from what I've seen on the show, I know that Giselle is not reliable in a game of telephone. Floozy freelancer.
Okay, we need to talk about that.
Right? So like, why would I say, if Giselle said that Karen said something, I know for a fact that Giselle misremembers or misrepeats or adds things that weren't there.
She adds color. She paints a little bit.
Right. So given that, no, I don't believe, maybe the sentiment of like Wendy isn't a good cast member.
Or she's not she's not jiving with the group.
Or like she's not contributing. Like maybe she said something to that effect, but not in the way that Giselle said it. And so I'm going to believe Karen.
I agree. I feel like literally this whole, because we finally have on camera, like in sequence, the floozy freelancer thing. We saw what Karen said verbatim. We saw what Giselle then repeated to Wendy. This is like, and when they called her out on the reunion, she's like, oh, I just added one word. And I'm so grateful. Andy was like, no, you added the most important word.
Because otherwise she just called her a freelancer, which is her
what she
job.
does for a living. So it's like, the whole thing bothered me so much. And I remember watching it and being like, she didn't call her a floozy freelancer. And it never came to blow, but now that we're sitting down at the reunion, like rewatching footage, I was so glad. And that is proof that like literally, I don't think I could ever believe anything Giselle ever says.
Yeah, if she says someone said this, I know for certain that they didn't. And you know what? Karen has not lied to me. And I feel like she definitely has lied to the other women. I didn't invite Monique, but then she comes on her confessional. She's like, yeah,
she doesn't lie to us.
Yeah,
You're right.
she doesn't lie to us. So if Karen said she said this and not that, I'm going with Karen.
And you know what? Wendy, Giselle, the four of them, they're so obsessed with just like being against Monique that Wendy should actually be mad at Giselle. Giselle called her a floozy freelancer.
Yeah.
That means Giselle came up with the word floozy. That means in her brain, because Karen didn't say it, Giselle thinks that Wendy is a floozy freelancer.
Yeah, that was not delved into enough for me. And like that required an apology to both Karen and Wendy, which I don't think that we got.
No, but Wendy's just so obsessed with like being in this crew of four women who like want to take Monique off the show that they can't fight in between themselves.
Yeah, there can't be
they're
infighting.
losing sight of the big picture, which is Monique.
Yeah. Also,
I love Chris
did you
Samuels.
notice how Ashley's hair was straight and then curly?
No.
So in the beginning, like the first 10, 15 minutes, Ashley's hair was like blown out straight. And then when they cut to her again, she has like ringlet curls. And then again, it's like straight. Like she changed her, like,
So it's my understanding that they couldn't get touch-ups at all. So they did like a big chunk and then a long break where they got lunch and hair and makeup touch-ups and then the rest.
Okay.
So maybe they cut a piece from part
the
two.
back end and put it in the middle.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I was noticing like a lot of them were shiny, and I noticed that on Real Housewives of New York too. And that's because usually when they take a break, like their hair and makeup people come to the set and just touch them up. But because of COVID, they're not even allowed on set.
So they only got one big one, and Ashley changed her hairstyle, which like
is crazy.
Which is a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, I love Chris Samuels so much. Like when they were just like praying, and I just like can't wait for him to come out. Oh my God, Candace, when she was like, and he was like, I heard you moved out of your house. She's like, well, we'll have to wait for Chris to get here to talk about it. So it's like, okay, I don't know why you need your husband there to announce it.
But okay, obviously there's something Chris needs to be here for, so we'll wait.
But then she gave it up
and then
5
it was
minutes
just like
later.
they bought a house.
Yeah, and then
she was like, and
we're
my
still
mother
thinking
donated
about having a baby. Like, and he was like, have you made a decision? She's like, yeah, we're still thinking about it. Maybe you'll hear something soon.
How is no one going to call her out on like the fact that she had a fake storyline? Like we literally need, you know who we need?
Megan King Edmonds?
No, Jennifer Aiden, like she did to Melissa.
Yeah.
With the sister and the baby.
You know
That's
what
Candace is doing.
That's so true. By the way, that's so funny because there's like brands of house. Like Megan King Edmonds' brand is like, if there's a mystery to solve, like you're getting Megan King Edmonds. Detective Edmonds. But you're right. Like if there's a fake storyline to be called out, it's Miss Jennifer Aiden.
Yeah. Because that's what Candace is doing, and like it's so
transparent,
overt. But like no one will call her out on it. And honestly, I didn't even think that was what Melissa Gorga might have been doing until Jennifer said it. And I'm like, oh, totally.
Yeah, because like I love Melissa Gorga, but like that season was a little silly for her. Like
the
with
sister, the
mysterious sister, and yeah,
just like such a weird storyline,
incredibly weird. So all in all, part one reunions are usually never that good. Like it was really,
and it's like I just feel like we're gearing up, and I'm just so happy for Monique because obviously she's been totally sidelined during the season, and like even in the beginning, she didn't even chime in. It's like she's a friend of, like she's not even there, and the women just have completely written her off. But she's coming back better than ever. And as a Monique stan, this is what I've been waiting for this whole time.
One more thing,
I felt like so good.
I thought Andy's question about like colorism as it pertains to like the way some of the women described like Monique and just like the physical behavior. I thought that was a really interesting conversation, and one that I feel like we've been, thinking about when discussing this fight and how like terms like aggressive and what was the other word they said?
Well, Monique had said.
No, Wendy was saying ferocious. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ferocious and aggressive are just like not words. And then Andy was like asking like questions that I was wondering too, like what are appropriate words? And Wendy was like, just use a dictionary. Like I thought that was a really interesting conversation. And honestly, I never even really knew what colorism was within the Black community until Potomac, because they used to talk about it a lot.
Yeah, they used to talk about it a lot. And I remember when I was reading Gabrielle Union's book, it was something that came up a lot and I learned a lot about it. And so it was interesting to hear them comment on it and if they feel that it has played a part in the way that the women talk about each other and or the viewers might talk about the women.
Also, just really quickly, the Wendy Slither is probably my favorite thing from the whole season. Like, and honestly, it's so funny to watch Karen do it and then immediately watch Wendy do it, because literally, like,
the same energy.
Like, she literally captured it so well. Like, I was crying. Like, Karen's just so funny. Like, and honestly, it's upsetting that she, like, gets no fucking respect.
No, I know.
The Wendy Slither was so funny, and only because, like, Karen did it so well. Like, the way she imitated it. It's perfect. It's like the same exact energy. No. And honestly, I would have never thought twice about the way that Wendy walked down the stairs.
And like, I feel like Karen might have not even seen the way she walked down the stairs, just that she was coming up. But like the fact that she caught that, it was just so funny.
No, it's literally like peak comedy. Like, it's hilarious. So I just can't wait for part 2 and 3. And we're not going to be podcasting, but like, just know.
But after part 3, I feel like we'll have a recap of everything. So we'll know where we're at.
It's
and
so
what's
good.
in the binder.
Are they going to take a Christmas break? Maybe. Okay. And then Real Houses of Atlanta, which I'm having like a hard time getting into the groove of, because it's such a shift. Like, Nene being gone, like, actually left like a seismic. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm. It depends what you're going to say.
Hole.
Shift.
Hole.
Sure.
Like a gap.
A sizable.
Like, there's an energy shift for sure. And it's just not being made up for with, like, Marlo, LaToya, and Drew. Even though that final conversation with Drew and her husband was crazy. I'm like, damn, these people are really, like, opening up on reality television.
Yeah. And on the one hand, I'm like, it's kind of annoying when a couple goes on TV to fight or get divorced, but I don't feel like that's where they're headed. I think this is just their relationship.
Same.
And it's just really interesting and honest.
I agree. Normally, I hate that shit.
So it was, like... It got super personal, and then by the end, I was just, like, sad.
Yeah, and the cameras, like, that was just crazy.
Yeah.
But I actually like Drew. I feel like LaToya was being really, like, unnecessarily mean to her, and Drew is a full housewife. LaToya, I believe, is just a friend of, and to me, it's just, like, so clear LaToya is, like, bending over backwards to get on a full-time cast member rotation.
Yeah, she's obviously, like, on a trial period.
Yeah.
And it could go either way.
I think she's really cute, but she was just, like, giving me such bad vibes, like, just, like, annoying energy.
I feel that. I also feel like when there's like 2 new people and then they start fighting, but it's like everyone else around them is like a vet. It just felt like a season 1 sort of motif.
It honestly felt like a season 1 party. Like at
all the girls are getting to know each other, and someone said something about their relationship that you could poke fun at.
Oh my God, I've been getting like such crazy nosebleeds, and is my nose bleeding?
I heard you've been getting crazy nose jobs.
I know. No, but like I'm like smelling blood in my nose, but
I don't see anything.
No, I'm just being dramatic.
Doesn't mean it's not there.
So, yeah, honestly, what I find most interesting about Real Houses of Atlanta is their homes. Like,
I'm obsessed with Cynthia's house.
Like Bailey, yeah. And you know who, like, actually, for so many seasons in Atlanta, it was like this huge conversation, like everyone naming their homes and like who could build a nicer home. Chateau Shoutout,
I love the idea of
Manor.
naming your home.
Yeah, but it's like they all used to come at each other being like, you have no money, like, and everyone came for Kenya when like her home literally popped up out of nowhere. She built it in like a day. And honestly, it really has stood the test of time. It's really very well done.
Yeah.
But like, whatever happened to Chateau Shoutout?
I don't know, but I like how they all name their homes.
Yeah, by the way, Lake Bailey is like so nice.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, and LaToya being like, it's a river.
No, and like her insistence on river. I'm like, no, it's a lake. Like,
it's not that funny.
You're not going to insult Cynthia.
Yeah, but to be honest, I felt like when they were all at the wine tasting party and Marlo got up to get more wine with LaToya, I feel like she literally gave LaToya like the best piece of advice.
And LaToya didn't hear it.
No, and I feel like Marlo really summed up what it is about Kenya that like makes her so toxic, and it's so true. Like, she cozies up to you, learns things about you, and then will use it again. I always have felt that she has some weird information on Cynthia because Cynthia is such a good friend to her for like no reason, and Cynthia's friendship with Nene was like a huge problem. Like, I've always felt that like there's just something off about Kenya, and I can't put my finger on it. And in 2 seconds, Marlo completely illustrated what it is.
Right, but when she said it, and from what we got of LaToya's reaction, I don't think she heard her, because she was like, oh, so I shouldn't take advice from her.
No, that's not it at all.
No, you should just like have your guard up and just keep some things to yourself. I don't think she got it. Even
though I do feel what you were saying last week, there is like a little shift in the way I feel about Kenya. I do think she's more
humbled.
100%. And she's like, I think a lot of people are confused about like why she's like being so carefree with LaToya, but I kind of understand that like when you meet someone who just like changes your vibe, like I don't think there's anything weird about that. I'm just so cautious of Kenya. Like
for sure. She's
not who she says she is. Like, and I really believe that.
Okay. No, I hear what you're saying. And I also feel like LaToya is in the exact same situation that she's in, like separated and just like, it's nice to have a friend. It's nice to have a friend.
Yeah. So honestly, nothing has been really happening. I feel like there's this like big blow up moment, which is the bachelorette party and
I just feel like
stripper.
the stage is being set.
Yeah. But I actually thought it was like crazy seeing Riley graduate from college. And that's like a thing with housewife kids is like you really can tell how long you've been watching the show. Like I remember Avery Singer in middle school, you know what I mean? And I remember Riley when she was so young and like reconnecting with her dad. Like it's actually just like a true testament because like the housewives get so much plastic surgery, they all look the same like since season 1. And it's just crazy like when you see housewife kids like all grown up, especially ones that like started filming when they were at like an awkward age. Like that was Ali Shapiro, Avery and Riley, and now she's like all grown up going to NYU, and like that's just crazy like for me like how long I've been watching Housewives.
Yeah, totally. she looked so cute at her graduation. Like, just such a cutie. Also,
but Candy was like MIA from the whole episode.
Oh yeah. But speaking of Avery, she posted on her Instagram story that she applied to go on The Bachelor. Avery Singer applied to go on The Bachelor.
Oshry sent, or maybe Olivia Oshry sent it to me, and then someone else sent me that on Matt James's season there's like a socialite on it, and she's Cynthia Rowley's daughter.
Yeah.
So now I just feel like what once was like a really embarrassing thing to do with a good payoff is now like becoming like a cool thing to do, like go on The Bachelor. Like Cynthia Rowley, what the hell do you need to be going on The Bachelorette for?
Yeah, no, it's still,
if not to promote your mother's clothing.
It was always like a cool thing to do, but I feel like there were some people, like a few select people who would not see it that way.
Like high society.
Yeah, and now like society, but we'll see. We'll get to know
society is calling.
Society is calling.
Pick
but
up.
I think Avery should go on The Bachelorette.
I actually think she's a good contender.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, those are the Housewives recaps that you definitely need to know.
You definitely needed to know them.
And honestly, I feel like a lot of people who listen to our show, like maybe don't watch Housewives and just like listen recaps for fun. And sometimes people ask us like, there's so many Housewives, like how should I get started? And to be honest, a really easy way to get started is watching Salt Lake City because it's season 1 and there's only a few episodes. But honestly, so many people I know have really picked up Potomac during quarantine because it has like the fewest amount of seasons. And I think this is the end of the 6th season or 5th.
I don't know.
5th or 6th. And it's just like easy. And it's really, I was like reevaluating everything last night. Like as it stands right now, I would say Potomac and Beverly Hills are my top 2. New York is no longer a part of it.
Oh, for sure. No, I picked up Potomac in quarantine. It was so much fun to watch. And if you're looking for a place to start, I would say that's an amazing place. Potomac is definitely amongst my top 3. I would have to think like, actually, yeah, probably Potomac, Beverly Hills, and we'll see about Dallas. Oh, but Salt Lake City. But it's too soon to say that's a favorite. Yeah.
Like, you have to have history in order 100%. To get to the top 3.
But I also love New Jersey when it's on.
It depends on the season.
Yeah.
And same with New York. And same with OC. OC probably is my least favorite of all time, ever.
Of all time.
Bring back the Real Housewives of Miami. That's all I have to say.
I just don't understand how Real Housewives of Miami got canceled. Like, what was so bad about it that it got canceled and OC doesn't, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
It doesn't make sense.
Because to me, Real Housewives of Miami had the perfect combination of like, you know, Thirst Monsters, real money. Leah Black had real money. Lisa Hochstein had real money. Thirst Monsters, like Adrienne, was that her name? Who got married and like was 4 hours late to her own wedding. And then they did
Joanna Krupa.
Oh, Thirst Monster. Then they did that live reunion, which was fucking crazy. They recorded the whole thing live. Like, it was really a revolutionary franchise, and it was just like randomly canceled, and nothing else.
Larsa was on it.
Larsa was on it, except the only downfall was that woman Karen, who was a dentist and had, her name wasn't Karen, it was Karent, and I just never understood why that was her name.
That's so funny. When I was going to text you last night when we were talking about Potomac, I was about to be like, when Karen was like being everything, I was about to be like, Karen.
Why?
Like, just because like of Karen.
No, I know. She was
like,
literally,
she's an icon.
She was literally like the worst. But then that girl Alexia, remember, she was great, and they all had really nice houses.
I just don't know, like, I just want an explanation. I want to see like the Q scores as to why that was canceled and other franchises aren't.
Right, like I understood why the Real Housewives of DC was canceled.
Yes.
Even though it was excellent when that couple like showed up to the White House uninvited.
But did Bravo catch that, or they just like started filming after that had happened and she happened to be that person?
No, Bravo caught it. Remember, they were like in the limo like holding a fake invitation.
Oh my God, stop.
I think.
I didn't watch it.
I just saw a clip. And Andy was talking about it. Yeah, no, they literally caught it on camera. They pretended they were invited to like some inauguration.
Yeah.
I don't even know who was president back then. Probably Obama, right?
Yeah.
And they like pretended they were invited, and they like couldn't get through the gates
like crashed.
of the West Wing.
I
like,
can't.
That was like it sounds like a good show because of that one moment, but it wasn't anything of the sort.
No, I didn't watch it, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I just remembered that.
So
woman.
if you're looking for something to do over Christmas break, Potomac and Salt Lake City are a great place to start. And that's our show. Anything you want to say before you wrap? By the way, every time I say before we wrap up, you know what I think of? Motormouth Maybell and Hairspray. It's time to wrap this mother up. Should I start saying that?
Honestly, yeah, it is time to wrap this mother up. No, I have nothing to say. Just we'll see you tomorrow, everyone. It's a good day.
Thank you so much for listening to The Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the Fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. So wherever you listen to podcasts, find us, The Morning Toast, and leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are. We hope you have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.